Welcome to the Threefold Real Estate Investing Podcast. This is the podcast where you'll not only learn how you can achieve massive success in multifamily real estate investing, but also how you can simultaneously pursue great relationships with your family and a better walk with God. You can achieve financial freedom through real estate investing without sacrificing the relationships that mean the most to you. Now, here's your host, Lee Yoder.
Welcome back, Threefold listeners. I hope you're having a great week. I am having a good week now as I am now getting over COVID, so feeling a lot better. Felt like I had the flu for a few days, but feeling better now. So good time. We were down in my family and actually my extended family, my three sisters, my parents, and all of everybody's families. We were down in Florida. Went to Disney one day, and we came back and quite a few of us had COVID for this past week as we were home. So had a great time down there, feeling good again now. So hope you're having a good week as well. Maybe you've enjoyed some vacations this summer. What I want to get into today, this is actually going to be a solo cast. I'm just going to be talking to you today about a theory that I've been working on, just kind of a thought experiment that I've been going through over the past really few months, and kind of a realization that I came to. And the realization is that I have had a C-class mindset for the past few years. Well, really for my entire real estate investing career. I'll build out what a C-class mindset is as I go. But let me just start. This C-class mindset started with the way I started investing. So I naturally, and maybe it even goes back further than like just the way that I'm built. My wife and I, when we're looking for an apartment, back when we used to rent, we looked for kind of what's the cheapest. Now, we didn't want to go the very, very cheapest, something that was in a really bad area. I would call those D-class properties. We weren't interested in living in a D-class property where you might, feel uneasy. Among the safe places, we wanted the cheapest one. And to me, that's pretty much a C-class apartment. So that's what we were looking for. We wanted the cheapest one. Well, when I started looking at buying apartment buildings, and we started with a 16 unit apartment building was the first thing we bought. When I was looking for them and looking at the rents and then, underwriting them, trying to get an idea, okay, what do we think we can get rents to? Well, the way I would do that is I would look at the neighbors, look at the comps and say, what are they charging? We can charge that. No more, no less, because we're going to make the units nice, but that's what we're able to charge. That's a C-class mindset. So as I was getting into it, again, underwriting, not only like underwriting on the way in, but what I was just kind of explaining there is that's underwriting my exit as well. So when I say, hey, what do we think we can sell this for? Well, we can get all the rents up to what the neighbors are getting. And I understand like not all neighbors are the same. And I know what a B class and what A class is. And I understand that there's properties that are charging more, but basically it's like all the ones, again, the safe apartments, but the cheapest ones, we want to be at the top of those, but that's basically just at the top of C class. And then this followed me with my expectations for my property manager. So, I never expected my property management company to be able to achieve rents for our properties above what our neighbors were getting, above our neighbors that, maybe they're not quite as nice, but they're safe, decent places. I just expected we should be getting kind of the top, but not really much beyond that. That's a C-class mentality. I've realized recently that my property management company, the property management company that we work with, they have a C-class mentality because we have a 47 unit in Kettering, a nice area of Dayton. And I've recently gotten very frustrated that we are not achieving higher and higher rents. Part of why I've been frustrated with that is because we recently took on a 95 unit property down in Cincinnati with a different property management company. And I'm going to get in this, but they have a different mindset. They do not have a C-class mindset. And they are getting higher and higher rents. And it's a decent area, but it's honestly probably not as good of an area as Kettering, as where our 47 unit is up here in Dayton. And that property, we're not achieving higher and higher rents. When I discussed this with our property management company, what they would do is they'd point me to the properties in the area, very decent properties, pretty similar to ours. Maybe not quite as nice, but hey, they're only charging this. So we can't charge more than that because, that's your competition. The people, looking for a place to rent, they'll go to them instead of you if you're charging more. That's a C-class mindset. Okay. So I have that. I found a property management company that has that and that's worked. as long as we've had C-class properties. Fortunately, we've been able to turn this C-class property here in Kettering into a B-class property because it's a B-class area. That's the important part. You got to be in a B-class area, right? Well, we are. Kettering is a B-class area, and we've put a bunch of money in this property. We replaced all the windows. We painted the exterior, the entire interior. We filled in the pool, which was an eyesore, made it really nice green space, new garage doors, and now we're renovating the units, putting like 15,000 plus into these units, and they're big units, 2-bed, 1.5 bath. Flats, just making them beautiful units. And we're not like outpacing our competition. We're just right at our competition. We're just competing with other C-class, and we're getting kind of maybe sort of toward the top of the C-class rent, nothing beyond that. Again, back to the 95 unit that we took on with the new property management company. They are a big property management company, a big player in the Cincinnati area. It's called Town Properties. They have a different mindset. So the rents that they're getting on our 95 unit in Cincinnati are just frankly like blowing us away. But they don't care what their neighbors are charging. We're putting money into this property as well. Even the previous owner did as well. They did a good job, and now they kind of handed the baton to us. Hey, we did phase 1. You guys take and do phase 2 and phase 3 of this repositioning this property. So it's going well, but the rents they're getting are just blowing us away. And we started talking to them about potentially taking on our 47 unit in Kettering, and their expectation of what they can get is far beyond what we're getting right now. And you may be thinking, I was thinking this too. Oh, sure. Well, it's easy to say that, but can they actually do it? Well, maybe we'll find out. But they are managing a property literally a stone's throw away from our 47 unit in Kettering, and they are crushing it. They are getting, $750 more per month for their 2-bed, 1 bath units, which are smaller than our 2-bed, 1.5 bath units. Now they do have a pool. Some of them have decks. They do not have washers and dryers. Ours don't either. So theirs are nicer, but are they $750 a month nicer? No, they're not. When we talk to Town, it's more about, well, people want to live here. You know, we make our properties really nice. We take really good care of our residents, and we know how to market. So it's not so much like, hey, what is everybody else doing? Let's just try to do that. It's more like, let's set the tone. We can be better. And that's, I mean, this may, sometimes when you get so into it, obvious things, don't seem so obvious because you're showing the weeds, and then you step back. And so for maybe for you outside, you're like, well, duh, Lee, didn't you know B-class properties charge more than C-class, and A-class charge even more than that? Yeah, absolutely. I did. I just got stuck in this C-class mindset, and I just thought my properties were C-class. And now realizing that we have some B-class properties, and we should treat them like B-class and shoot for that. You've got to have a partner. You got to have a property management company that's prepared to do that, that's able to do that. And I would say, you've got to run the properties a certain way. They've got to look like B-class properties. But again, we're doing that. We feel confident that we are. Town has told us that we are. But you've also got to be able to market to those residents and know what that's like. It's all about marketing. I'm realizing that. I know, reading business books and learning from others and talking to others. Anytime you get into any business, it's just like, it's so much about marketing. When you're an entrepreneur, you're a marketer. You have to do so much marketing. I think property management, as far as bringing people in, driving rent, it's marketing. And that's what I think the B-class players, the A-class players, that's what they're able to do. They market differently. They market really well, and they bring in residents that are able and willing to pay the higher rent. So I'm slowly starting to transition from a C-class mindset to a B-class mindset. It's not easy because I've been doing it for a long time. I've been in that C-class mindset for a long time, and there's nothing wrong with it. I definitely want to say that there are C-class properties out there, and you can do very well. If you're in C-class, then absolutely, you're just looking at the other, just safe, very workforce housing, very basic housing in the area, and you're just competing with them. You're not the unsafe properties, in the war zones, the D-class properties, but you're not B-class. You're not going to do better than the others. You can do a little bit better than the other C-class. So sure, there's a scale. There's C-, C+, C+ properties, but you're not going to be way above. I mean, again, the property, a stone throw away from us, exact same market, a little bit nicer. They're getting $750 more per month. That's absurd. That's a ton more, right? Like that. I did not think that was possible, frankly. And again, we don't expect to get that, but do I think we can get 250 more than we are right now? Yeah, maybe more than that. And a big reputable property management company agrees with us. And so I'm really anxious to try this out and push for this, see how this goes. Obviously, it would greatly affect the value of our property. And frankly, it would justify the capital that we have invested in the property. I mean, we've put a ton into this property. If you want to get into real estate, if you're in it already, you know what this is like when you go in. You're usually investing a ton of the capital, if not almost, if not all of it up front. And so, we're not done with this property, but we've put a ton into it. We've spent the majority of the money that we're going to spend here up front because we've done all the big CapEx projects. And, you want to be rewarded for that. You want to be rewarded for your investment, and seeing a rise in rent, which, drives your revenue, which drives your value. That's what you want to see. You want to see the revenue go up. You want to see the value go up because you've invested in the property. That's how you get a return on your investment, right? So a lot of people will say that, the holy grail. I mean, this is my opinion. This is where we want to be. We want to take C-class properties and turn them into B-class properties. I feel that we've done that. We've picked a B-class area, like I said, here in Kettering, and we've taken a C-class property and turned it into a B-class property, just by the appearance, by the way we're running it for the most part, the units for sure, the finishes that we're putting into the units, we've turned it into a B-class property, but we're not driving that B-class rent yet. You've got to have the right partner to do that because you've got to have the right mindset. If you don't have a B-class mindset, you're not going to be able to drive that B-class rent because you don't think you deserve it. You're not marketing it that way. You're not expecting it. You're not going after the right clientele that can pay that. So that's what we're going after now. Really excited about it. If you have any questions about this, if you want to learn more about this, please reach out to us. We've got a website, which is threefold REI, as in realestateinvesting.com. You can also always email us, info@threefoldrei.com. Hope you're having a great week. Hope you're having a great summer. We'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for joining us for another great episode. I hope you'll take action on what you've learned today. If you enjoyed today's show, please consider leaving Lee a 5-star rating and review. And check him out on threefoldrei.com. Until next time, 1 Timothy 6:17.